Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful, rainy Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why the clock is always ticking for the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So another Sunday, another rainy, beautiful day here in the Carolinas. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I'm going to jump right in. Why the clock is always ticking for the narcissist? It's because when the narcissist does the damage, when they manipulate people, when they instill the smear campaign, when they gaslight people, give them the silent treatment, when they steal from people, when they cheat on people, when they want to destroy people's lives, this is not a good place to be. The narcissist thinks that they are always going to get one over on people, that they are better than people, that people will never figure them out, and that people, for the most part, will believe the smear campaign. Well, what happens is, just like today, it's a rainy, beautiful day in the Carolinas. Tomorrow, it's going to be a sunshiny day. And when that day approaches, and we're getting closer to it, that is when people, using this as an illustration, will see through the smear campaign. Now, I'm not saying tomorrow everyone's going to deduce that the narcissist is, in fact, a narcissist. Many people are still drinking the Kool-Aid. Having said that, over time, as the clock ticks, the narcissist becomes more and more prevalent, they're more susceptible to being exposed. Because with all of the relationships that they blow up from the very beginning of their toxic behavior up until this very minute, these haunt the narcissist. Now you may say to yourself, how do they haunt the narcissist, Andrew? I don't get that. The narcissist is living their best life. They're on their fifth source of supply right now, and they are just loving life. Well, keep in mind, the narcissist is not stable. They are not a person similar to yourself who can be in one relationship. They don't want the best for people. What they want is they want to tear people down, and they want to extract resources from people. You now know this. You understand that this is exactly how the narcissist thrives. They thrive because what they're looking to do is to take resources, your time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, your soul, your spirit, your health. They're trying to take this from you throughout the whole relationship. They accomplish most of these things until one day you wise up and one day you figure them out. Maybe it's when you're in the relationship, maybe it's after you were discarded, maybe it's after you exited yourself, maybe it's while you're still trapped in the narcissistic fog and you found that needle in a haystack and you said, wait a minute, my spouse or my friend or my mom or my dad, all of these things are adding up to toxic narcissistic behavior. Maybe they are one. Well, I can't tell you if they are or not. I can tell you this, there's a reason you made it this far in the video. There's a reason you're on the channel. There's a reason that you are understanding that you are the person in control, that you're the person that has the beautiful, bright, shining light and the abundance within you. The narcissists try to take this away from you. They did this. They really try to do damage to you throughout the length of the narcissistic relationship until you figured it out, until you put two and two together. So now, as I'm sharing this illustration with you in this beautiful, cold, rainy day, the clock is ticking for the narcissist. It's ticking right now. It's been ticking since the minute they were born, and it will continue to tick long after you have gone no contact and blocked them, removed all flying monkeys and people associated with them, and you have understood that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. You see, the narcissist really didn't think you would figure them out. They really did not ever think you would deduce who they were. And that's why the clock is ticking, because you have the wisdom. You now have boundaries, or you are acquiring boundaries. You are no longer a people pleaser or a yes person. And you can now say the strongest word in the English language, which is no. Remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. These things and so many more are what makes you a very unique and blessed person. The narcissist wanted to capture you. And they wanted to keep you trapped in that zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog. And again, they achieved that goal until they didn't. And when they didn't, that's when you got that needle in a haystack. And that's when you understood, wow, I'm grateful to be out of that relationship. Of course, this is after you've broken the trauma bond and you've seen a therapist and you've journaled, and you've slowed down your life, you've meditated, you've processed childhood wounds perhaps, and you just have the ability to be. But when you look back in time, once you've healed, once you've reached that pinnacle of indifference, that mountaintop of indifference, you will say to yourself, I am so blessed and grateful to be out of that relationship. I am grateful to have healed. I am grateful to have my cup full, or my cup is getting more and more full every day. I am grateful for no longer being tethered to a toxic individual and being peppered with abuse, being peppered with gaslighting, the silent treatment, triangulation, my least favorite thing these people do. I am no longer anywhere near that relationship. That is for another person, unfortunately, to experience, or for the flying monkeys to experience. Because the narcissist, keep this in mind, if you are one step away from the narcissist, which means if they are in your proximity, or if you are still communicating with them, and this could be a narcissist from the past, or even one you discovered that you have at work right now, you are susceptible. You could become a target very, very easily, because the narcissist is always looking to disrupt people's energy. They want to take, and when they're done, what do they want to do? That's right, they want to take more. And they did this to you throughout the length of the former relationship you were part of, but now you're getting the tools, you are applying the wisdom, you are becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and you know your value. You know that you can no longer tolerate this poor behavior. You know that this person manipulated you, they hoodwinked you, they tricked you, they trapped you. They did not want you ever to escape the narcissistic relationship. Now you may say, well, what are you talking about, Andrew? They discarded me. Of course they wanted to get away from me. Well, think about this for a minute. What is a Hoover? I'll tell you exactly what a Hoover is. A Hoover is when the narcissist is low on supply, or you've crossed the radar for some reason, and now they're thinking of seeing if you've healed, if you've gotten the lifelong learning lesson from the toxic narcissistic relationship, or if you are still pining for them and you're willing to go back for more and more abuse or punishment. If you haven't healed, you are completely susceptible to a Hoover if you don't go no contact, block them, delete them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If you can't do that, I understand. Then what you need to do is you need to understand that you will have some work ahead of you. Perhaps you're playing the blocking, unblocking game, which means you are blocking them and then you're not as strong as you want to be, and you unblock them and you peek at their social media. Well, this goes on and on and on until when? Until you finally get the message that every time you unblock the narcissist, you're giving them supply. And the supply you're giving them is not helping you out. It's actually not doing anything but keeping you trapped, keeping you stuck in that zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog. That is not where you should be. You shouldn't be anywhere near the narcissist or the narcissistic fog. You should be as far away from the narcissist and the toxicity from that relationship as possible. But again, we are all different. Some of us, it takes longer to get the message. Some of us, these people are our moms or dads or brothers, sisters, neighbors, coworkers, people we're in communities or organizations that we are part of, or people that we loan money to or that owe us money, etc. I get it. Everyone's circumstances are different, but yet we are all headed in the same direction on the healing path, looking to accomplish something, which is to break the cycle, to break the trauma bond, to break the tether that keeps you connected with the narcissist, and to say goodbye, narcissist. Once you've broken the ties, which include the emotional, the financial, the physical, and the spiritual ties, once you've broken those, then you can say goodbye to the narcissist and that former life and those former people that were a part of that life, specifically people who drank the Kool-Aid, who instilled the smear campaign, who watched your life crumble, who did not want you to get untethered from the narcissist, who wanted to keep you stuck. All of these people, the flying monkeys and people that surround or enable the narcissist, these people don't realize it. I said it once, I'll say it again. They could easily be a target right now. Perhaps they were a target in the past. Perhaps they're going to be a target tomorrow. Who knows? But as the thumbnail mentions, the clock is always ticking for the narcissist, because more and more people on the planet are understanding these challenging, toxic, energy vampire, sucking, draining relationships. They don't serve you. They never have and they never will. And when you didn't have the wisdom on narcissism or toxic relationships, you were just going through life with your rose-colored glasses on. You were believing that most people had your best interest at heart and they thought like you. And you thought that being a people pleaser or a yes person or putting other people in front of yourselves, that would be the path. That's not the case. The narcissist saw you when they first met you, and they figured out what made you tick. They figured out that the clock was running, that they needed to get into a relationship with you as soon as possible and to tie you down. How? Well, maybe by having kids, or by marrying you, or by going to business with you, or to starting up a friendship, or to relocating. There are so many different ways the narcissist will try to entangle themselves or enmesh themselves in a relationship with you. You now understand that you have to have boundaries. You cannot overshare information. You need to keep your information close to the vest for those loved and trusted ones around you. And you need to exit any toxic narcissistic relationship that you were a part of in the past, or perhaps you think that one of these people is around you now. There are so many layers to the narcissistic abusive cycle, but I want to share with you, I want to touch on what I mentioned a moment ago. The narcissist knows the clock is ticking. They've always known that the clock was ticking. They knew it in your relationship, and they know it in the current relationship they're a part of, Because each and every narcissistic relationship, it has an expiration date, and the narcissist knows this. They also know that they need to extract as much resources from the individual, which was you, and now it's the new supply, as they possibly can, in the shortest amount of time, with the least amount of effort, so you never figure them out. The whole time they're doing that, they are grooming other sources of supply all over the globe behind your back. This is what they do. This is how they can leapfrog from one relationship to another. This is how they can disappear like a cockroach in the middle of the night in the kitchen when you turn the light switch on, when they discard you. Why? Because they never loved you. They never cared about you. They only cared about your money, your time, how you made them feel, what you bought for them, what you provided for them. There is no substance to the narcissist. They're empty shells. They're empty vessels. They're hollow, if you will. The only thing they do is regurgitate or mimic back to you words that you once said to them, or words they heard from another person. And you may say, well, Andrew, that's language. We all use language. Yes, we do. But again, as I have a personality and so do you, this is what makes you you. It's like your fingerprint. You're an authentic, honest, genuine individual. That's what I am. That's not what the narcissist is. They're a person who vibrates in the low quagmire vibrational state below your shoe. And they need to take other people's beautiful, bright, shining light and steal it from them for the length of the relationship or a period of time. And they want to swap energy places with you. In other words, they want to steal your beautiful, bright, shining light, and they want to use that as supply to elevate them to the next relationship, and they want to keep you stuck in that narcissistic fog, in the zombie-like, trance-like state. They don't want you breaking free from the trauma bond that they threw you in. They don't want you ever figuring them out, and they don't want you healing. But the narcissist knows the clock is ticking for them, and right now, wherever they are, whatever relationship they're in, maybe the temperature of that relationship is getting a little too warm, which means that person's resources are now becoming depleted. Their health is ailing. They lost their job. Their social circle is blown up, etc. And what happens now? I'll tell you what happens. The narcissist has their replacement in line, and it's just a matter of time before the new supply, who was the new supply to you, meaning the person that took your place, it's only a matter of time before they get kicked to the curb, and the cycle goes on and on and on. The thing is, the narcissistic abusive cycle, it will continue on, but it continues with one constant. There is one variable that remains the same, only one. And it is the narcissist. It is not you. Because post-narcissistic relationship, you have healed, or you are healing. You are putting yourself back together, and you're understanding that that was the most challenging relationship you were ever a part of. You weren't prepared for it, but then again, you weren't taught this in school, so how could you know what a narcissistic relationship entailed? The narcissist, again, they know the clock is ticking for them. They know that Father Time is ticking against them. They know that their health perhaps isn't what it once was. They are realizing that their social circle, yes, their social circle perhaps is becoming smaller too, because eventually everybody reveals themselves in time, every single person, including the narcissist. So if you're one of the wise ones that figured out that the person you were with in the past is a toxic narcissistic person, A+ for you. You're very smart, and now you're going down the rabbit hole of education and understanding what these people do to blow up other people's lives. Aside of that, you need to understand that the narcissist can't change. They can't introspect. They're destined to stay in that loop of destruction. That's exactly where they will be forever. What they try to do is grab people and bring them down into that loop, into that cycle, into that narcissistic fog or devaluation stage. And that's where they want to exchange the energy with the person. That's why they want to steal from people. That's why there's no originality to the narcissist. All they do is copy what other people do. And what I mean by that is their hairstyle, the clothes they wear, the car they drive, the words they use. All they're looking for is that one shiny object, the one thing that they believe that they can glom onto for the rest of their life, but that never happens. Because as soon as the narcissist gets what they want to crumble it up like a sheet of paper and throw it away in the freeway. They get jaded, they get bored. That's why they know the clock is ticking for themselves. They won't admit it, but they know it because they're running not only from themselves, but they're running from former relationships, and they're running from being discovered. That's why they relocate so many times. Think about the narcissist. How many times did they relocate or change jobs? A lot, didn't they? Of course they did. Why? Because they blew up relationships, they blew up situations or environments. They couldn't sit where they were, or they got jaded and bored with doing the same thing over and over again, or both. This is why the narcissist needs new shiny objects or people. This is why the narcissist's cup can never be full. This is why they can never be satiated with one relationship. This is why they need to create devastation, destruction, manipulation, lies, deceit, and blow up any relationship they become a part of. And yes, that's exactly what they do. So the narcissist knows the clock is ticking for them. They've always known it. They're up against the clock. They were up against the clock when they're in the relationship with you. They just bided their time to figure out when they could kick you to the curb or discard you. Or They wanted to make sure they discarded you before, if you figured out who they were before you discarded them, or you ended the relationship yourself. But the narcissist is a very frail and fragile and hollow and shallow person. They're full of anxiety. They're full of ghosts or skeletons in their closet that do come back to roost. Think about this. Every night the narcissist goes to bed, do you think they go to bed dreaming of puppies and unicorns and rainbows? Not even close. What do? Well, I'll tell you what they do. They have to be in one of their 3 smartphones getting supply to keep themselves distracted because they can't fall asleep the way you fall asleep. What they do is they sleep very minimally, usually, because they're running around constantly all over the globe looking for supply, looking to disrupt people's lives, looking to blow up relationships. Now you may say, Andrew, you're being a little rough here. No, I'm not. I'm being blunt with you. You need to look behind the mask. You need to lift up the hood. The next time you encounter a beautiful individual on the exterior, you need to say to yourself, what's behind that facade? What's behind that image of humanity? Is there something of substance or core there? Or is it just another hollow, empty shell? Think about what I'm sharing with you. Imagine this before I close the video. You went to buy a car. Maybe you're in your college days, or maybe now you're buying a used car. It looks beautiful, nice and shiny, and it looks like $1 million. But and you go buy it, and you don't take it for a test drive. Well, what happens is as soon as you drive it off the lot, it falls apart because it has no engine. It can't run. It can't function. That's the narcissist in a nutshell. They may look good on the exterior, and not everyone does, but I'm saying maybe they do. But on the interior, it's nothing but disdain, stealing, lies, manipulation, devastation, and destruction. It's jealousy. It's envy. It is wanting to be you. That's exactly what the narcissist wants. They want to take anything they possibly can away from you because it makes them feel good and it minimizes your life experiences. Think about what I'm sharing with you. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the rainy Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. And guys, the video, I moved it around a little bit because it is really cold here and it's raining again for the second Sunday, but I love this location. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop comments below if you did. Sorry about moving the camera. I'm doing my best. I love you guys, and I am going to go inside because it is cold. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye, guys.